Hey, it's Monday. Yippee-ki-yay, mo folks. Hope you all had a great weekend. Welcome to Cooperville Live. All of the things, everywhere you go. Live on Facebook. We are live on Twitch. We are live on YouTube. We are live everywhere you go. Happy day. Beautiful day. No complaints. With 75 and sunshine. We're wrapping up the month of September. Because we all know what's coming. I'm not super excited about it. But we do have a nice couple days. Take the weather. 100%. Bust over here. Big victory last night for the Packers. Stayed up for that one. That was pretty cool. You don't give Aaron Rodgers 37 seconds and no timeouts. Down by one. If you missed it, you missed it. Mason Crosby. 51-yard field goal to win it. As time expired, it was an exciting Sunday night football game. No, I will tell you. After 3:15, and then we had the Monday nighter, and he had a Sunday nighter. Can somebody get me some noon games, man? I would like the noon games. That's my wheelhouse. Because then, like, by 3:30, I'm like, cool. Done for the day. But when you're good, they like to put you in prime time. But big win. It's a big win. Let's check out the sponsors of the show if we can. Hey, Cooperville Clothing.com is the website. Getting into that fall vibe of things, so we're leaning long sleeves and we're leaning hoodies, and pretty soon we're going to be leaning into the beanies and the winter hats. This is what we do. All the stuff. For the guys, for the gals, for those who like to wear hats like myself, check out CoopervilleClothing.com. I haven't looked at our hats in a while. Oh, yeah. Huge fan of the snow hat. I have this one. I love it. One of my faves. Though I have to strategically wear it because otherwise it won't be a white hat for very long. Like, are we doing anything outdoorsy today? No. Then I'm good. Captain Coops Beard Company, the beard oils, the beard balms, the beard butters, we have it all. So make sure that you, if you have somebody bearded that you know, or you are a beardo yourself, this is the stuff to get right there. We have the fall season. A lot of dudes, after they go clean shaven for the summer, decide that, the fall and winter months are when they're going to beard up a little bit. I will tell you this, beards actually grow better during the summer. Just saying. It's all that vitamin D. You think, well, it's getting colder out, like my body wants to protect itself. It's just not true. But anyway, you can take care of that beard, whether you are a full-timer or a part-timer, at CaptainCoops.com. I'd go oil and balm, and if you're heavy duty, then you get into the butter stuff, and you're good to go. So check them all out at CaptainCoops.com. I hope you had a fantastic weekend. I'm missing my armrest here. There. Much better. I hope you had a great weekend. We had plans this weekend to go to the Renaissance Fair in Shakopee, somewhere in Minnesota, somewhere outside of the Twin Cities. So we kind of hunkered down on Friday night, and then we got up on Saturday, and we were like getting moving. We're going to drop the dog off, going to make our way over, and do the Ren Fair, stay up in the cities, and then come back on Sunday. That was the plan. Everybody needs a break once in a while. Got to get away. Got to go do things. As you should. So we got up and started rummaging about Saturday morning, and I said, I will make breakfast. And Nick was going to take the dog for a walk. Pretty standard stuff. Nothing wild and crazy. Nothing wild. Walk the dog. I'll make some bacon and eggs. We'll have a little something to eat. Drop the dog off. Boom, we're in the cities. And a couple hours later, we're, drinking mead and eating turkey legs. Makes sense. Was not to be. Nick took a step on the stairs wrong and really messed up her ankle. An incredible amount of pain. I've never heard somebody scream at that level, like in excruciating pain. So instead of the cities, our first trip was to the local emergency room. Now, if you watch the show, you know my stance and our stance on mask wearing and vaccinations, all that stuff. Okay, cool. So I have a woman in agonizing pain. As we get to the ER, went and got a wheelchair, put her in that, and wheeled her in, and she gets checked in. And this has been she did a post on Facebook, and I shared it on my page. So if you haven't seen the details of it, then you can go and get the lowdown, if you will. She was asked to put a mask on by the lady at the front desk, and she said, "Well, I have some PTSD things that if I can keep it below my nose, like then we can be good. Get back to the room, and we'll be squared away." Front desk lady's like, "Okay." And we kind of get carted, or she gets carted over to the waiting room area of the emergency room. So we wait there for a couple minutes, and the nurse comes out to wheel her back and asks if she will put a mask on. And she said, "Well, I just talked to the lady at the front desk, and if I can, keep it below my nose, like here are the reasons why. Medical condition, here are the reasons why." And the nurse is like, "We have a strict policy that you have to be masked." And so the compromise was if I can just like keep it here, get me to the room, and we'll be good. And so the nurse goes back to wherever in the back. Granted, there's nobody in the hospital. There's like one old dude waiting for a ride by the door. Nobody else besides the staff. Nurse comes back out. Different nurse comes back out. Kind of runs through the same thing. Meanwhile, again, we are 15 minutes into sitting in the waiting room with Nicole in agonizing pain from this fall, and basically she was denied medical care because she wouldn't fully cover her face with a mask in the hospital, in the emergency room. Denied medical treatment. We're sorry you're in here in agonizing pain. We don't know if it's broken, if you got torn ligaments, torn tendons. We don't know anything because we can't treat you because you won't wear a mask 25 feet down the hallway. Now, at this point, Nicole no longer felt safe being treated at this place, which I 100% agree with. Not to mention the fact that they just had somebody inside of their building, inside of a medical facility with people who have taken an oath, whether it's a doctor, whether it's a nurse, whether it's a damn lady at the front desk, to help those who need help. Why do you want to be a doctor? Why do you want to be a nurse? Well, I want to help people when they're hurt, when they're sick, when they're injured. It's pretty much the oath that you take. Yet, hospital policy has put them in a position where they cannot offer care to all who enter. That's like fucked up isn't like the right phrase for it. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a defiance of some moral obligation to help others. I'll take it out of context of the hospital setting, out of the emergency room setting. So there's a car accident ahead of you. It looks pretty bad. You stop your car, you get out of the car, and you go to help that person. You don't know them from Adam, but you're like, this is bad. I'm a human. They're a human. I'm going to try to do what I can to help this person. But you get there and see that person is whatever. Not wearing a mask, or that person isn't whatever. And be like, sorry, go fuck yourself. I'm out. Not going to help you. You can sit there in severe agonizing pain, and whatever happens, happens. I will not help you. And you're not a medical professional. You didn't go through the training and the schooling because you wanted to help people, to do good. Sick and injured. Yet here you have an individual who is visibly in pain, visibly injured. To what extent? Well, no. Can't tell you because we can't treat you here. The nearest hospital from where we were, the nearest emergency room, urgent care, whatever, is 25 minutes away. We're already 15 minutes into this rigmarole. Now you add on top of the injury this. This is the world that we are currently living in. What if it wasn't a mask? It feels like there was a similar issue back in the 80s treating people who were gay, being concerned that they may have AIDS, and people were denied treatment then. And it seems like a pretty fucking horrible thing. Luckily, Nicole has a cousin who works at a different hospital. Oh, she was able to contact as we were en route into a different city, and told her the situation, and she was upset about that treatment, and said, "Hey, here's the deal. Come in." And we did, and she wore the mask below her nose, just like she said she could handle. And we were, I mean, it was a several hour thing, but X-rays and nurses and doctors and all this stuff. And luckily, nothing's broken, and we're probably looking at some structural damage, but obviously, a ton of pain on top of, a veteran of the United States Army being denied treatment because of some policy made by somebody who is not even in the room, is not even in the building, is not even in the state, with clearly an agenda that is not patient first. Now, the next time something happens to me, to her, to people that we've talked to about this, and Nicole's gotten a ton of support from people as she did a Facebook Live after we had left the second hospital, after she was actually treated, and a ton of great response, a ton of support, a ton of people calling it out as what it is, which is bullshit. But the next time that something happens, there is going to be a lot of reluctancy to return to that facility. And you don't want to put things on a grandiose scale and say, matter of life and death, and the decision is made because of this incident. maybe not by us, maybe by somebody else who saw it and said, that's fucking messed up. And they have to go to a different place. And in major medical emergencies, timing is everything. Time is everything. Time is of the essence. It's concerning, to say the least. You know, and Nicole even brought it up to the hospital staff at the first location we were at. And she could tell, and I could tell that, you know, the second nurse that had come out was not, if she was the one making the decision, there wouldn't have been this incident. But she was not. She was going by a piece of paper or a memo that came out, something that was posted somewhere within the confines of the hospital. But Nicole said something to the effect of, I hope when it comes down to treating people who are not vaccinated that you still offer people treatment, because it feels like that is the direction that we are going. Which is scary on so many levels that imagine going into a hospital and them saying, let me see your yellow star. I mean, let me see your certificate of authenticity. I don't have one. Well, I'm sorry, sir. You're having a heart attack or a stroke. We can't help you. That would never, ever happen. Stepping stone. That is a stepping stone. When you are inside of an emergency room and they deny you treatment, I don't give a fuck what the reason is. That's one level. And directionally, it seems like we're heading in the next level, and not in a good way. You know, and it's tough to be in that position because you already feel like you're powerless, and then on top of it, you realize that it doesn't matter. I mean, to what injury level do you have to be at for them to be like, we should help this person? Like, is it a heart attack? Is it a stroke? I mean, do you have to what is it? And they're like, I don't know. Are we going to let this person die, or should we just stick to the corporate policy of this medical facility? It's a scary world. It's a scary place to be. Yeah. And to witness it, you know, with somebody that you care about and you understand, you try to understand the things that they've gone through, and you see them be treated this way, and there's, you know, you shouldn't punch the hospital staff. I mean, that's not going to get your point across. But you're like, this is mind-boggling. Like, you feel like you're living in the fucking Twilight Zone. You're like, wait, what? It's wild. But I'm super proud of her for going on Facebook Live and telling her story from her perspective and her point of view. And she did, you know, give me permission to talk about it on the show today. And you know, but her bravery to deal with that, to get through that, and then to be able to tell that story, because there's going to be other people that have to go through that, have to go into an emergency room situation and be denied treatment. So you hope there's some awareness that gets brought. And I know that, you know, she has a lot of friends in the medical field that called it what it is. Like, this is bullshit. But they're seeing it too. And What is the next thing? You know, who has to, like, what tragedy has to happen in order for this to be brought, you know, into a higher level of attention, and people go, you can't deny people medical treatment. I don't give a shit what your policy is. Do you want us to help you to the car? No, I want you to go fuck yourself and your policy. That's what I want. By the way, we have a nice GFY parts and service T-shirt and 3/4 length available at CoopervilleClothing.com. Should have been wearing that. Damn it. It's wild stuff, though. But thank you to everybody who, you know, from my circle, Intertwined Circles, I shared the video, obviously, as I mentioned, that reached out, you know, with support and with love and understanding of what she had to go through, because nobody should have to go through that. Nobody should go into a situation where they're seeking help and be told that they can't have it because of some bureaucratic bullshit. You know? That's that. Awareness, which we've talked about on the show all the time. You know, it sucks that she had to go through, you know, that experience. You know, luckily, the next facility we went to was much more understanding. Didn't even say anything about anything. Just treated her the best that they could and got her on the way. But having gone through that and seeing that happens, you go, fuck, this is happening to other people too. Others are going through this situation. Probably some on a more severe scale. Not to downplay her injury, but, I mean, if you're having a medical emergency where it is a life or death situation, I would hate to be the person who has to make that call because of some policy and says, I'm sorry, we can't help you here. And something tragic happens. Because you have to live with that. Policymaker doesn't give a shit until the lawsuits start falling in. Then they'll start to listen, because that's seemingly what it takes. Which is some scary shit. Yep. But I digress. That's that story. Complete change of topics. One video I want to share with you in case you didn't see it from over the course of the weekend. If you have small children, the Wildness, man. The Wildness. This happened at the Kansas City Chiefs game over the weekend. Let's see if I can zoom in on this a little bit. There we go. Try to get this a little more in frame for you. So anyway, there's a Chiefs game. The Chiefs lost on Sunday, and there's a fight, which happens in the NFL, especially when your team loses. Now, it seems like it's Chiefs fans versus Chiefs fans, not like the opponent's fans are starting shit. Doesn't seem like that. But I will tell you, it does appear that somewhere towards the end of this video, I might have to zoom out just a little bit. There. It appears that Santa Claus gets knocked unconscious. Watch this shit. C-Dubs. It's about to get wild. It's a lot of build-up. I know. See, it's Chiefs fans versus Chiefs fans. Oh, there it is. Now we're underway. Melee. Gotta wait till the end till Santa gets his ass kicked. It's no bueno. Like what causes such a stir here? What is happening? And there's Santa Claus getting his shit kicked out of him. What is happening in Kansas City? Woof! Man, you get a chance to be back in the stands. It took it away from you for a whole year. And you get back in the stands and you just start kicking the shit out of people. Why? And the dude that looks like Santa Claus, like, who's the asshole that I'm like, yeah, I'm going to punch that guy? Like, at some point, you got to like, dude, apologies. But nowhere does it say, like, what started the mayhem. It was like, people just drunk and talking shit and then mayhem. Santa Claus, man, you punch Santa. You have to go home and tell your children you were at the game, Santa Claus was at the game, and you knocked Santa unconscious. You have to live with that, asshole. I digress. So the world's a crazy place. We're all just living it. C-dubs, I hope things are well over in Malaysia. Things are wild here. Wilder by the day. Coming up on the show Wednesday, not 100% confirmed yet. We're checking schedules, making sure we can make it work. But Orlando Owens is running for Wisconsin Secretary of the Treasury. He watched our Jonathan Wickman conversation, which has got thousands of views now. Thank you to Jonathan Wickman and his team for sharing our conversation on their platforms. Really appreciate that. But Orlando Owens watched the video and reached out and said, I'd love to be on your show and talk about the things that he's got rolling for him. As even though it's not election year, this is when things start to get kicked up because we're just under 14 months away from the midterms. So that should be coming up on Wednesday on the program. So tune in for that. Share it with all your friends. Until then, hit the links and like everything that we do. That will be fantastic.